Hey everyone, it's Mark Hayward from Business Growth Talks. This is a very special couple of episodes. It's commemorating my 500th episode on my show Business Growth Talks. And for that occasion, I did a live studio show at Riverside Studios in London, Hammersmith on the 17th of May. So this is just a little intro to let you know what's going to be happening today. I'm actually going to be splitting it into 3 episodes. So today you're going to get the intro as well as the first interview with Rebecca Harbrow. Episode 501 is going to be an episode speaking to Gerard Edwards. And episode 502 is going to be with Jonathan J. So I just wanted to give this little intro. The sound quality is good, but it's not perfect because it was a live show. So it's incredibly difficult to wrap it all up. But I've done my best for you guys today. So hopefully you'll be looking forward to the episodes coming in 501 and 502, but today it is the 500th episode, which is a very big deal for me. I really appreciate you guys who have been with me and supported me all that time, and I just wanted to do something different, so I thought I would do a live studio show. So go straight into my intro as when I walk out on stage. So thank you so much for all your help and all your support. I really do appreciate you. And on into the show. What am I doing here? And the great thing about being here at this moment in time, I can't see any of you. It's a relief, I promise you. All right. We've already said about Encrypted Love. They were fantastic. I really enjoyed their set. So they'll hear this on recording. So just a big thank you to them as well. Right, I'm sorry, because you might have made a wrong turn at the tube station to go to the Apollo, because they've got Shrek the musical. I'm not going to be singing those songs tonight. And also, you can't leave, because I've locked the doors. Welcome, everyone, to this very special night. I am super excited and very nervous. I put here a bit nervous. I'm actually very nervous, so... But this is a night to celebrate my 500th episode of my podcast, Business Growth Talks. Is everyone excited for a great night? Right, there's a lot of familiar faces that I've seen here tonight. But for those people who don't know me, my name is Mark Hayward. I'm 44 years old. I live in Chiswick with my wife, who I think is there, and 2 wonderful girls, and I have to give a shout out to my dog, Cooper the Schnauzer. I worked in a corporate job for 12 years before leaving during the pandemic and running businesses in property, and I've founded a podcast booking service as well. Originally, I was born in East London, but I managed to escape with my passport to West London about 19 years ago. I'm obviously a podcast enthusiast, a rugby union fan, and a Star Wars geek. I don't know how many of you know that, but I am. In this evening of inspiration, education, and entertainment, I'm going to be speaking to some amazing guests tonight. And we're going to be talking about their business, but also about their life as well. In the first half, I will be interviewing Rebecca Harbrow, who is an independent financial advisor. She's standing over there. She's going to be great. And I've got Gerard Edwards, who is the owner of Podcast Radio. We had planned Neil Edwards, who is a magician. But sadly, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to make it tonight. A friend of mine up there said, has he done a disappearing act? But unfortunately, he's had a family emergency, which he's not able to come tonight. After those 2 interviews, you'll have a 20-minute interval, and you'll be able to grab a well-deserved drink at halftime.
In the second half, we are going to have a speech by Louis Halpin, who's a very dear friend of mine, who's going to be talking about AI. And then the last conversation, hopefully he's going to arrive. He's called Jonathan J, who has 25 years track record in buying and selling businesses. He is coming at the interval, so if anyone puts their head through, everyone give him a wave. Make sure he knows that he's supposed to be in this place. So, for those of you who don't know, I have a podcast. I also have a YouTube channel, and they're both called Business Growth Talks. The channel has been running since December 2017. Initially, it was called Absolute Business Mindset, but I went through a rebrand last year to talk more about growing and scaling businesses. I interview business owners and talk to them about how to grow and scale businesses. As this is a very special night for me, it is rare for podcasters to get to 500. But I genuinely love doing the interviews with guests, and I love doing solo episodes as well, talking about business trends that are happening at the moment. If you want to support the show, please go onto any podcast app or on YouTube and subscribe. Or you can go on the program and there's QR codes that you can click on. So go now, right now. I want you to get your phones out and subscribe. And I will be checking throughout the night to see if my numbers go up. And if they don't, after coming out tonight on a Friday night to this evening, if you have not subscribed, we are going to have serious words. But tonight is not just about growing and scaling business. It's a little bit different. As I said, we've got Encrypted Love. Unfortunately, Neil couldn't be here. But I want to talk a little bit about the venue. We are here at Riverside Studios, which in the 60s and 70s did Doctor Who. There was a lot of Doctor Who that were recorded here, as well as Top of the Pops, which is great. With a recognition of the BBC history that is in the walls here, I'm going to do a themed night of BBC News. And what is the most important news at the moment? It's not the date of the next general election. No one really cares, to be honest. But it's actually fake news. Why is fake news so prevalent in 2024? There is a fascination with news stories, whether they are conspiracy theories, outlandish reports of behaviours of famous people, true or not. True or not, it actually doesn't matter. The misinformation by exaggerating or inventing scenarios, which is fiction, but contains a grain of truth, is how fake news has exploded. Thanks to social media, fake news has gone mainstream. We can't post anything about aliens or pyramids or why Donald Trump might be right, or probably isn't. One of my favourite BBC shows is Would I Lie to You? So before we start the night, I'm going to play a quick round with everyone here. So I want you to shout out whether you think this is a truth or a lie. I was asked to play for Saracens Rugby Club as a junior and turned them down because I was a Harlequins fan. True. Correct. For those who don't know rugby union, it's kind of like turning down Manchester United for Liverpool. Second thing, my dog, Cooper, is a miniature schnauzer, and he's a purebred that has lineage back to a royal family. Oh, really? Did you not believe that? He's actually a purebred, but he does have delusions to grandeur, so that's why the story came out. As a teenager, I played cricket with Essex and England cricket star Graham Gooch. Excellent, well done. Yes, it was true. And lastly, My brother was part of the team that built Mercedes-Benz facility in Surrey, and I put my hands in the concrete when I visited as a teenager.
Probably.
Oh, split there. No, it was a lie. My brother did help build the facility, but I wasn't allowed anywhere near it. So as you can see by these fake truths, if you want to call it, or would I lie to you, the beauty of these stories is that even when they're lies, there's an element of truth. And that makes it hard to work out if it's true or a lie. So in the spirit of would I lie to you, I'm going to share a fact about every guest, and you need to work out whether it's a true or lie. The one thing about that is, unlike this time, you're going to have to keep it to yourselves. The reason is that the interviews are all taking place. We all need to be quiet here inside because it's going to be released as a podcast on a YouTube channel. So, ready? If any of you want to make any noises, please do it now. Coughing, yes, coughing is welcomed at this point, but not after this stage. Anyone else? We good? Right. Finished, Mark? Right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to my first little bit. Who's looking forward to our first guest? So, Rebecca Harbrow, she's an experienced financial advisor. She provides holistic financial advice to clients ensuring services are tailored to their requirements. Her expertise includes inheritance tax, pensions, investments, mortgages, business, and personal family insurance protection. This would I lie to you? Tell me after, okay? Rebecca is from the city of Colchester in Essex, and she loves spending her bank holiday weekends reenacting historic events when the Vikings attacked Colchester in the 9th and 10th century. So Rebecca, what do you do and who do you serve?
So I'm a chartered financial planner and I'm also a company director of Blue Heron. So I give holistic financial planning to about 500 clients, and then I also have a team of 6 employees that work with me.
Wonderful. And what do you do that's different to other financial advisors?
I try to have all my licenses in all different areas, so that if a client came to see me and they're running a business, or if they're an employee, or whatever industry they're in, I would be able to look at not only their individual planning, but also their business planning, or recently I've been doing more estate planning, so having all the licenses enable me to do that.
And that's because you are chartered, aren't you? It's a different stage for a financial advisor to be chartered.
Yes, there's not actually many chartered financial advisors out there. And so, yes, it's quite unique to be chartered, to have gone to that level with your exams.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, moving on, who has helped you most in your career?
So, I've had a lot of different people throughout my career help me, because I've been in the industry over 22 years now. So I was thinking about this question, and it's a difficult one, but I was going to go with the person that last helped me the most.
Okay.
And that was about 18 months ago. I had a meeting with my business quality manager, and I was complaining that I wasn't being taken seriously when it came to buying businesses. And I was finding out that people were selling their businesses after they'd already found a buyer. and I was quite frustrated with the situation. So then he went away, and one of his other people that he does the quality management for mentioned that she was interested in retiring. So he put a really good word in for me, and then introduced me to this lady who is in her late 70s, and we just got on very well. And what we had was that our morals aligned. And she wasn't interested in selling to the highest bidder. What she wanted was someone that was going to be looking after her clients, and the fact that I think that I was also female helped, that she a lot of her clients liked working with her, and so that happened 18 months ago that I bought that business. And I feel like if that business quality manager hadn't listened to what I'd said, I would never have got that introduction.
And how were you introduced to that person?
So he told her about me, and then he introduced us. Yeah.
What are your non-negotiables? The things that you won't be able to go against. The things that are just that important to you.
So a personal one is that I have to meditate before I go to bed every night. I started to do that about 18 months ago, so I had terrible trouble sleeping. So I do 10-minute meditation before bed, even if I go away. So a couple of weekends ago, I went to Champneys with a friend, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put my meditation on. And she wasn't very happy about that, but I was like, I can't sleep without it. So that's my non-negotiable personally. I think with regards to work, it probably is anyone that I have joined Blue Heron and work at Blue Heron, they have to have a really high work ethic. And otherwise they just wouldn't fit in with our culture.
And at one stage, you actually only had women that worked for you, didn't you?
Yes. So interesting fact is there's less than 20% women in financial services.
Okay.
So one of my things that I wanted was to build a practice with women in it. And then we had the wonderful James join us. So yeah.
And what are the plans for the next 2 to 5 years?
So now I've bought the first business, and that's gone well, and we've onboarded all the clients. I've got track record in the industry, so I've been taken more seriously. So last year I was contacted by 2 business owners wanting to sell to me, but after doing all my due diligence, I decided that they weren't the right fit for Blue Heron. So it would be to buy more businesses in the next 2 to 3 years, and then expand upon the team.
So when Jonathan J, who's the last guest, I would have a little word with him, because he's all about building businesses, buying businesses and selling them. So I'll make that connection at the end.
Thank you.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Okay, so I got invited by one of my clients who's running her own business to a talk that she was doing at the Albright, which is an all-women's private members club. And when I was listening to her talk, I got really inspired by what she was saying, and her talk was the art of delegation. And she explained how she delegated her social media, her website, her accountancy, her PA work. And off the back of that was when I started delegating. And I feel like I would never have been able to transition from self-employed to running a business without delegating. Yeah. So we have, separate accountants, separate social media person, and a VA that, I can hand things over to when I needed to get the website set up, because it's not my strength. My strength is giving advice. If I hadn't been able to learn those skills to delegate, then I probably would be trying to do everything. And a lot of people that are in my peer group, for example, do try and do everything, but you can't do everything.
No. And it's Richard Branson that I remember reading his autobiography, the first and the second version, and he said even at a very early age, it was all about being able to delegate. There were certain things that he was good at, the PR or the media stuff. Obviously, he's a very savvy businessman as well, but his financial experience was not great, and so he said, and I remember this interview on a podcast, was that it was all about learning the things that you're good at and doing them, and being able to leverage other people's support that way. I think that's a really good piece of advice. Is there anything else that you're thinking, like now you've started to delegate, is there anything that you would like to still delegate to someone else?
I think in my own right, am a bit busy with clients, and I think for me it would be what I want to focus more on is the advisors that I've got working within the practice, is helping build them up. So that, well, I had an incident yesterday where I actually hit my head, and I was lucky enough that Lauren, one of my financial advisors, stepped in and took over my client meetings. So it's having that extra person there that you can rely on. So I'd say with the delegation, I've never really delegated financial planning because I've always wanted to do that side myself, but it'll be learning to delegate clients out. I think that's the next challenge, yeah.
And I hope you don't mind, you did say about hurting yourself. We got a message from Rebecca about 7:20 last night saying, I'm in A&E,
Yeah.
I've hit my head on a radiator, I still hope to be there. So I just went, okay. So I left it, and then I got a message from you at 12:20 saying everything's fine, I'm still turning up. I had to message you this morning and just say, are you still able to come? And just explain.
And I was back at the hospital.
And you were back at the hospital getting medication.
Yeah, so I've got a bit of concussion.
The last question I want to ask you is, if there's something that you would like to change in life, politics, society, what would that be?
Well, I think what everyone would like is, considering what's going on in the world right now, would be world peace. But failing that, then it would be to get more younger people into the industry of financial services. So at the moment, there's less than 10% of people under the age of 30 in my industry. And in the next 10 years, a majority of financial advisors will be retiring. So that is a big problem. Yeah. So more education in school, that it is a profession like a solicitor or an accountant. You have to be fully qualified now. It's not what it used to be back in the day. And so it would be good to get more people into the industry at a younger age, which is why I've taken on 2 apprentices and we're about to take on our 3rd, because I feel like getting the younger people in is really important.
And also there are businesses that you can buy for all these people retire.
Yes, exactly.
Right, thank you, Rebecca. So we now just have one final question for you. Can you reveal if it was a truth or a lie?
Well, there's quite a few people here that would know that was a lie. I'm more likely to get your nails done or in the spa.
Look, thank you so much for being a guest on tonight. It's been so wonderful, and with the story that happened yesterday, just thank you so much for turning up and being with us tonight. Thank you, Rebecca Harbrow.
Thank you, Mark.